Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Everyday Carry Tourniquet from Snakestaff Systems. The Everyday Carry Tourniquet, or ETQ, from Snakestaff Systems was made to be a compact yet effective tourniquet to always have on hand. It's 65% smaller than standard tourniquets, which allows for easier carry and concealment. If you've tried carrying standard sized tourniquets, you've most likely only carried them on a belt pouch or holster, or simply throw them into a bag. Your tourniquet is never really on you, but rather in a bag or a kit. Carrying a standard tourniquet in your back pocket is very awkward and uncomfortable, but with the ETQ, you can slip it into any of your pockets and forget that it's even there. The ETQ was made to be more compact, but just as effective, as well as be a smarter tourniquet. Before we dive deeper into the features of the ETQ, let's do a size comparison. Here it is up against a standard cat tourniquet. Here it is up against a softy tourniquet. As you can see, it is a lot smaller than these two standard size tourniquets. I'm an EMT, and this is actually the same tourniquet that's used by my ambulance company. And as you can see, the ETQ is a lot smaller, but when it comes to everyday carry, the ETQ is a lot more compact and convenient to carry. To show just how compact the ETQ is, I'm going to compare it to some more items. Here it is up against a Glock 19 magazine. Snakestaff Systems themselves actually says that the ETQ is basically the same size as a carry pistol magazine, and after getting one in hand, I can definitely say that's true. And here it is up against my Leatherman Free P2. This is my go-to EDC multi-tool. As you can see, the ETQ is not that much bigger than a multi-tool. And lastly, because of the carabiner at the top of the ETQ, one option for carrying is to actually put it on your keys, which is really interesting. As you can see, it's a lot bigger than my other keys and my car key fob, but it's still able to be carried on a keychain, which I think is really cool. I'll first go over the notable features of the ETQ, then I'll show you how to fold and stage it, and then I'll show you an example of me putting it on myself. First up, the windlass on the ETQ is actually textured, which will allow it to be more grippable in high stress environments, as well as prevent your fingers from slipping if it gets bloody or wet. Moving on to the main body of the ETQ, it's made out of some sturdy plastic, and one of the smart features of the ETQ is that in the plastic gate where the windlass goes, there's actually a carabiner which will lock it in to give the tourniquet an extra level of security so the windlass doesn't pop out. When securing the windlass in the cat tourniquet, you simply slide it into one of the sides of the plastic gate, but it's still able to slide out and get unraveled. Another smart feature on the ETQ is a chem light. This chem light will break when you tighten the tourniquet. When the body folds, the chem light will break. As you can see, I already broke my chem light. I'll talk about my opinions on the chem light at the end of the video, but the purpose of the chem light is so that it will glow in the dark, so the tourniquet is visible for first responders at night. And then the last smart feature on the ETQ is actually at the end of the tourniquet itself. In addition to the time tag, which you should always be doing, you should always be writing the time the tourniquet was applied on any tourniquet, whether it be directly on the tourniquet or on the patient's forehead. They give you some simple instructions to help you apply it during shock or high stress environments, or for people that simply don't know how to use a tourniquet. And if the instructions aren't clear enough, it has a QR code directly to a video tutorial on how to apply a tourniquet. Now I'm going to show you how I personally stage my ETQ. When it's completely opened up, I like to slide the tab all the way back until just about 1.5 inches of the tab is out, and then stick it back on the Velcro. And then I want to fold the tourniquet back onto itself near the windlass gate. And then once I do that, I want to fold it up against itself again. And then for me personally, I like to fold up again and then have a little bit of slack and then fold it around on top of the loop so I can have a little rip cord, so if I pull it out I can easily just deploy it like that. And now I'll do a demonstration of me applying the ETQ to myself. In terms of applying the tourniquet, it's almost exactly like applying a cat tourniquet. Of course, it's just a lot smaller and it has better features. You want to put the tourniquet high and tight above the wound. You want to make sure the windlass is tightened until you can't tighten it anymore. Put the windlass through the carabiner gate and make sure you can't put your fingers between the tourniquet and the limb, and make sure to see that there's no longer a distal pulse. Of course, if the wound continues to bleed, you should put another tourniquet on high and tight as well, and make sure to mark the time on both of them. Overall, I'd say I am really impressed with the ETQ. I think Snakestaff Systems did an excellent job. This product basically solves all the main problems of a standard tourniquet for everyday carry. Of course, in EMS or military and law enforcement, you're still probably just going to be carrying the standard industry tourniquets like the CAT, but for everyday carry, I mean, this thing really just disappears in my back pocket. It's crazy how small this is, but it's still just as effective as a CAT tourniquet. I really love the compact size. I love how you can attach it to your keyring or even throw it into one of your front pockets with your other gear. In terms of what I don't like about the tourniquet, they're pretty small things. The real notable thing would be about the chem light. As I said, my chem light was already broken. I'm not too sure if I can entirely blame it on the ETQ or maybe if it was my fault, but as I said, I'd usually carry this in my back pocket. Maybe it was just me, maybe I sat on this wrong or I didn't put it in my pocket securely enough, but the middle part of the body actually snapped and activated the chem light. Again, I'm not too sure if that was just my fault, but I dislike how easily breakable the chem light is, and they do sell replaceable chem lights, which is nice, but I also dislike how to remove and replace the chem light, you actually need a hex bit driver to remove the top and then remove the chem light. I feel like if the chem light was simply replaceable with like a system that didn't require tools, I feel like that would be better. And another thing I think that they could do, make a version of the ETQ in a bright orange color for high visibility or for civilian use. I understand that for military and law enforcement, tourniquets carried on them should be the same color as their uniform, but the fact that this is able to fit in pockets, I feel like a bright orange tourniquet would not be bad even for military and law enforcement since it is concealed. But for civilian EMS and just for civilian everyday carry, I feel like a bright high-vis orange colorway would be perfect, and you could maybe even remove the chem light. Other than those two small problems or additions, I definitely recommend the ETQ. It's only $32. It's made in the USA. You get fast shipping as well. They're supposed to drop every Friday, which is nice. They're currently sold out, but hopefully next drop you'll be able to grab one if you want to. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials, and thanks for watching.